Few things to think about when selling your business are plan early and plan a long way in advance. At some point you will probably sell, and therefore you should think about that as early as possible. Another area would be to get a great management team around you and make sure they're incentivized to continue to help grow your business so that when you come to sell, the buyer has a team of people with all the knowledge. Also, make sure you get a great team of professional advisors around you because they should help to add value both before, during, and after the process. What are the options for selling your business? They normally fall into two areas. One is via a sale to the incumbent management team, so the people who work for you. And the second is via what we call a trade sale, which is generally to a larger business that does something very similar to what you do now. The key with the former is having a management team in place when you exit. One of the big issues entrepreneurs have is they grip everything very tightly and don't hand over control. And so what can happen is when you come to then try to sell your business to management, they don't have the skills or the wherewithal to do it. When's the right time to get a corporate finance advisor involved? Now, I would say this, wouldn't I? But as early as possible. This has a number of ways of helping you. The advisor that you're working with can get a very deep and detailed understanding of your business, and it may be that when he's out talking to other businesses, he may find a buyer for you via that route. And the other reason is that they can be helping you along the way in terms of preparation for whenever you decide to eventually sell the business. So whether that's getting other external support involved, such as tax advisors or legal support, or indeed helping you prep the data and financial information within your business so that even if somebody comes in sort of off the street and you weren't thinking of selling, you're in a position that you can press the button immediately. Maximising the value in a business, you can probably put it into a few key areas. One would be having a business with high levels of growth, so think sort of double-digit top-line growth. Secondly, and you might not be able to influence this yourselves, but in a market that itself is growing at a good rate. The third area is having a great team of people around you in terms of your external advisors, but probably more importantly, the management team that work for you. And four is about really prepping the business in a way that when you come to take it to market, that you can show it off in its best light, whether that be in terms of the contractual relationships with your clients or indeed the underlying data that is driving the growth within the business. A few things to think about when selling your business are plan early and plan a long way in advance. At some point you will probably sell, and therefore you should think about that as early as possible. Another area would be to get a great management team around you and make sure they're incentivized to continue to help grow your business so that when you come to sell, the buyer has a team of people with all the knowledge. And also make sure you get a great team of professional advisors around you because they should help to add value both before, during, and after the process.
If you're in the process of selling your business, the best time of getting tax involved is always as early as possible. That definitely allows for time to think about pre-transaction structuring, whether that be extracting a property from the business or just generally trying to maximise the value come the date of sale. In truth, most of the time that tax get involved is around the time that heads of terms are being signed. And that's really important to make sure that the structure of the deal works from a tax perspective. Having said that, it's never too late to get tax involved. And we've definitely seen experiences where we've been brought in very late in the day and managed to turn things around and make sure the deal still works from a tax perspective. During a sale, tax can really add value. The main way of doing that is to really find an advisor who embeds themselves in your team, whether that be alongside your corporate finance or your lawyers, and really understands the transaction. The advantage of that is they can guide you through all of the tax implications associated with the deal. Where your tax advisor can really add value in a transaction is where you've got something that's more complicated than just plain cash consideration. Now that might take the form of either an earn-out, where you want to ensure that that's still taxed as capital gains, or potentially some form of non-cash consideration, such as loan notes or shares. The key thing being that you ultimately only want to pay tax when you convert that deferred consideration into cash. The key tax takeaway is definitely to get your tax team involved as early as possible in the transaction so that they can identify any problem areas and make sure that you're getting the right tax treatment on your sale of your business.